Today is a Wednesday, August the 20th. I couldn't tell you. I know it's a Wednesday and it's hot. It's a bit of the same situations we've talked about the last couple times. It is flooded out here pretty bad. I hunted last night and I saw a monster down in the swamp. He caught my wind. He came from an area I didn't anticipate him to. He walked right through the middle of the swamp just to get downwind of me. I did not expect him to do that. But we're out here today hunting over a small corn pile on some of the only high land we got left. Basically everything else is underwater right now. So I'll show you what we got. Corn pile down there, if you guys can see. I'll zoom in a little bit. That's all water down there. So I'm trying to catch them walking around that water out to feed here. And I got some brush cover here. I'm in an oak tree. I believe it should be a good sit, but we do got a little storm in the background, wants to try and push in. So I'm anticipating, with it being so hot today, these deer have been in the bed for a while, and they might try to come out and eat before the storm. I'm expecting prime time to be right around 7. I saw that buck yesterday at 6:20, so we'll see how. Well, y'all, I got no excuse for that one. I mean, my kisser button moved when I was climbing up the tree. You see that clip, or that it had fallen off, and I didn't know where to set it. I shot right over the top of that deer's back. It was on my 20-yard pin. I aimed right under his chest. It was a perfect line, but over the top of his back, and that's what did it. Right there. Oh, I'm disgusted with myself. Y'all, please don't make the same mistakes I made. I knew my kisser button had moved. I thought I put it in the right spot. I walked right past my target on the way out here and didn't even think to try and make sure I was good to go. I slid it up. And I just assumed that everything was good. That's twice this year already I've missed. And I want to say the first time I missed was on that same 2 bucks right there. You couldn't draw it up any better than that. The little button buck walked out and he went straight to the corn pile. The 4-point come out and he was working a scrape directly underneath the tree. I think I got some of it on video. But I mean, come out 4 yards from me. I'm disgusted with myself right now. But it's been about 10 minutes now. I'm gonna go ahead and get out the tree, and I'll see y'all at the house. All right, everybody. It's the next morning. I kind of got to let that miss marinate a little bit. I'm not gonna say I didn't beat myself up too bad about it, because I 100% did. That's just who I am. But yeah, I just wanted to talk about it for a little bit, because I didn't really cut much of an outro or an ending for the video. But I mean, the kisser button did move 100%. It was down there by the D loop when I actually shot. I noticed that the day before when I climbed up the stand that it had moved. And I talked to my buddy who I got the bow from, because my bow was actually stolen in the last season. So I talked to my buddy who I got the bow from, and he was going to come back to my place this weekend, and we were going to get a new lock on it. That way that kisser button didn't move anymore. But you know, aside from all that, you know, whether the kisser button moved or not, that's 100% my fault. You know, I missed the shot. I knew that the kisser button had moved. I decided not to check and make sure my sights were on before I left. And, you know, because of that, I went right over the top of that deer's back. And I know a lot of people probably wouldn't shoot that deer, you guys out in the Midwest, but right now we're not hunting for antlers. It's early season. I'm trying to get meat in the freezer. That's my prime reason, my main reason for hunting. Yeah, it is what it is, man. You know, as a bow hunter, I've been bow hunting for right at 10 years now, and I've missed my fair share of deer, but I've never missed. That's my second shot in a row now. I actually missed that same buck on another stand on the other end of the property opening day of the season. And that shot was 33 yards, and he was 1/4 really hard. And I should have never shot that. You know, I went right underneath him. So that deer is just supposed to live to see another day, I suppose. But as a bow hunter, that's what it's about. You know what I mean? You learn, you know, you have to take a few shots before you learn not to rush them. And, you know, when something goes wrong, you got to learn to check it. And it's about taking the time. I'd rather be 5 minutes late up the tree, and because I check my sights and have a hunt go right. But it's sickening to get that far. You know what I mean? You put the work in, you hang the stand, you trim all the trees, you put the food out, you let them come get it, you do the planting of the field, you supplement with corn. You pay attention to where these deer are moving. I knew right where those deer were going to come from, you know, because I've studied the land so much and their patterns and how they're moving. I knew what deer were going to come. I knew when they were going to come, just about. And I couldn't have drawn it up more pretty than that. That first button buck came out, went right to the corn. The second 4-point come out, and he worked a scrape right under the oak tree that I was in. Didn't smell my ground scent whatsoever. Didn't see me in the tree. And you couldn't have drawn it up more perfect than that.
But unfortunately, you know, I couldn't finish the job, and that's the sickening part. So I mean, but hindsight's always 20/20. And I mean, at the end of the day, you know, I missed a shot again. That's still a young buck. You know, he's that deer's not old at all, and I didn't nick him with the arrow. It went clean over his back, and that deer will be back. Maybe not that spot, but he's going to stick around the property. That's not enough to bump him off of his home range. So, in any light, I was just happy to be in the woods another day. I told myself I wasn't going to hunt yesterday. We had a little storm come in the evening, which that's what South Carolina is. That's par for the course. You get these pop-up thunderstorm showers, and for a really hot day, it cooled down big time last night. So I knew they were going to move, and I knew what deer were going to move. But the next one will work. The next one will happen. We're right there. I'm going to spend the rest of the week getting the bow right. I'm going to get a lock back on my kisser button. That way it can't slide down anymore. I'm going to go ahead and change my arrows up and get back to shooting my previous arrows out of my old bow. Right now I'm shooting some other gold tips that, you know, I'm shooting a setup that I'm not comfortable with anyway in the first place. And, you know, it was because it was rushed. I got the bow the last day of the season, or the day before the season, and it's starting to show. It's really starting to show when I got the bow and my lack of shooting over the year. So all the excuses in the world, it comes down, you know, root cause, it is on me. And I hope you guys can learn from that. Just please take the time to make sure everything's lined up each time before you go out. I've got a target block right there in my yard that I passed up on the way there. I told myself I was going to shoot it, but I was so ready to get in the stand and get the camera set up and everything that I didn't want to spend the extra 5 minutes to do it. It's just, and I should have. But yeah, and if you're not comfortable with the setup, get comfortable with the setup. Don't go in the woods blind, basically, or not knowing how you're shooting, what's going on there. But yeah, guys, sorry I didn't make it happen, and sorry I missed, but you know, as a bow hunter, that's what it is. It happens. I got to learn from it. Can't beat myself up too bad. I'm gonna spend the rest of the week shooting the target, getting some new arrows today, and hopefully everything works out right for us. Again, sorry I missed, and hopefully you guys are still enjoying the footage of the deer we're getting. You know, it's hot out there in South Carolina, and those mosquitoes can carry you away. It's bad. I know a couple of videos you guys probably hear them buzzing around. But thanks again, man. I hope y'all season's going well. Drop me a comment down below. Let me know how your season's going. And especially you local guys, anybody that's around South Carolina, please let me know how you're doing. But hope you guys enjoyed. Y'all have a blessed season. Have a blessed day. Bye.